Hey, what is up everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and in this video, I will explain why Deku is now able to use multiple quirks. And I will also explain what those new quirks are and how they work. Since Deku's ability to manifest multiple quirks has finally been revealed in the anime with the sudden introduction of Black Whip, I thought that this would be the perfect time to make a quick video and clear up all of the confusion, so let's get into it. If you enjoy the Boku no Hero content here on the channel and you want to see more, please leave a like and comment. It only takes a second and it's a totally free way to support the channel. And of course, if you're new to AnimeUproar or maybe you watch our videos but you haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You really have to go through the trouble of subscribing, hitting the bell, and then selecting the option that says all. If you don't do that, you're still gonna miss a ton of our videos even if you are subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. Now, even though the information about Black Whip and Deku's new quirks is new to anime-only fans, manga readers have known about it for like over 3 years. This means that not only do we know about Black Whip, but as of the making of this video, we also know 4 other quirks that Deku is eventually going to be able to use. In this video, I will explain what all of these quirks are and how they work, but I won't get into the details about the plot of the story in case you're an anime only. So, if you're cool with learning about the quirks themselves and how they work without any major plot spoilers, this is the video for you. But if you don't want any spoilers at all beyond the anime, then proceed with caution, you have been warned. So, as we know, the quirk One for All was created accidentally when the villain All for One decided to give his seemingly quirkless brother a stockpiling quirk. But All for One's younger brother did already have a quirk that no one knew about because it was pretty much inactive. This quirk had only one function, and that was the ability to transfer itself from one person to another. Initially, this was basically useless, but after All for One gave his brother a quirk that stockpiles power, that stockpiling quirk combined with the transferring quirk in order to create what we know today as One for All. As it turns out, All for One's younger brother was completely against his brother's villainous plans. And so once he was able to use One for All, he started actively opposing his brother. Unfortunately, All for One's brother was not strong enough to defeat All for One, and he eventually died. But before he died, he managed to pass the quirk One for All onto a successor, and this transferring continued generation after generation until the quirk finally ended up with Deku. And Deku is of course the 9th and current One for All user. Since one of the 2 quirks that were used to create One for All was a quirk that stockpiles power, as One for All was passed on from user to user, it actually became stronger. Because it keeps accumulating more power, One for All is growing and evolving over time. In episode 98 of the anime and chapter 212 of the manga, Deku finds himself inside that strange vestige world after the sudden and unexpected activation of a new power within him. A power that we eventually learn is a quirk called Black Whip. The original owner of this quirk appears before Deku and he explains to Deku that he is not alone. The vestiges of the previous users of One for All are still living inside of One for All. Moreover, the core of One for All is getting larger, and the quirk factors of all of the previous users have been mixed into that core. This may sound a bit confusing, so I'll try to clear it up as much as possible. Basically, One for All's core retains the quirk factor of each previous user, and it also retains some aspect of the user's consciousness. The previous users themselves are all dead except for All Might, of course, but some part of their consciousness remained inside One for All. These consciousnesses are what we refer to as vestiges, and they are able to directly communicate with Deku, the current One for All user, when certain conditions are met. Now, about the quirks. Before Deku, no other One for All user had access to the previous user's quirks. So for example, All Might could not use Nana's quirk or any other quirk aside from One for All itself. But for some reason, Deku is the first user who has been able to unlock the quirk factors of the previous users, which allows them to manifest their quirks. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is Deku so special? The long answer is that One For All has been getting stronger with each new user, its core has been expanding, and Deku just happens to be the one who inherited the quirk at a critical time in its continuing evolution. Up until this point, One For All was still changing and growing, but now Deku is the first user who has the potential to truly complete One For All. The short answer is protagonist powers. The first new quirk that Deku is able to activate is of course Black Whip. This quirk allows its user to generate black tendrils from their body and use these tendrils to either attack an opponent, restrain an opponent, or increase the versatility of the user's own movements. Black Whip is an extremely useful quirk, and it appears to be powered by strong emotions such as anger. This means that the angrier the user becomes while still maintaining control of his senses, the stronger the quirk will become. But the user must learn to control and channel that anger properly by maintaining a pure heart, otherwise the user could lose control of the quirk. Black Whip suddenly activated inside of Deku during the showdown against Class 1B, just as Deku thought, "I'll capture that guy," while chasing Neito Monoma. This strong urge to capture Monoma that Deku felt in that moment subconsciously triggered the activation of Black Whip because this was the best quirk for that job. Deku was caught off guard by Black Whip's sudden activation, and at first he was unable to control it. He needed to work together with Ochako and Shinso in order to restrain the quirk. Part of the reason why Deku struggled to control the quirk is the fact that Black Whip is much stronger now than it had been originally. Black Whip is now being powered by the growing strength of One For All itself, so it is much stronger now than it was when it was possessed by its original user. And the same goes for the other 5 quirks that Deku is going to manifest. And speaking of those 5 other quirks, what are they and how do they work? Just like Deku, All Might is quirkless, so Deku won't be inheriting a quirk from him. But All Might's former master Nana Shimura possessed a quirk called Float, which allowed her to levitate in the air. Deku will learn this high-flying quirk in the near future. Another quirk that Deku will be learning is Smokescreen, which allows its user to expel a thick cloud of smoke from their body. The smoke can be spread to cover a wide area, and this serves as a way to obscure the vision of your opponents, allowing you to hide from them and either catch them by surprise or simply escape from them. Yet another quirk that Deku is going to manifest is Danger Sense, which allows its user to instantly identify imminent threats in the surrounding area, so it's basically a spidey sense. And then there's Fajin, a quirk that allows its user to build up kinetic energy in different parts of their body and then use that energy to release an explosive burst of speed and power. I'm sure you can already imagine the insane quirk combos that Deku is going to be able to use in the future. And yeah, you better believe that the upcoming fights between Deku and the villains are going to be absolutely incredible. Now, the first user of One For All possessed One For All itself, and Deku has already been using it for a long time. This means that only one more new quirk remains, and this final quirk belongs to the second One For All user, the one who inherited the quirk directly from All For One's younger brother. This is the last quirk to be revealed in the story, and unfortunately, as of the making of this video, this final quirk still hasn't appeared. But as soon as this quirk is revealed, I will make a video covering it and explaining all of its powers and abilities. So if you enjoy our content here at AnimeUproar, definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Let me know what you guys think about the evolution of One For All. Do you think that One For All is becoming too OP? Or are you looking forward to seeing all the epic new quirks and quirk combos that Deku is going to be using? Finally, if you had to choose between getting One For All or All For One, which of the 2 quirks would you choose? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this Boku no Hero video and you want to see more in the future, just leave a like. It only takes a second, but it helps a lot. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. A big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for making videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Alpha Sigma, and red-haired Raven. These guys are absolute mad lads and disciples of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Pate Hefa, Aljatal, Dr. Courtman, The Toasted Chi, Rai Carlo, Slickback, Emperor Otaku, Spidey Life Tunnel, Tungsten Tarkus, Baked Buddhist, and Cody Hebert. Finally, thank you also to our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Angel Cruz, Anatoly Kazatsky, Cricket XP, Very Gucci, Alicia Octer, Bonnie Parks, Hinokami and Water, Ted No Ted, iSparky65, Joanne Garcia, Fatboy Games, Metal Mama, Corey McGowan, Deadly Saint, Soul Ray Slice and Dice, and Pillow. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value to you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.